Feeder buses in Singapore summarized. 222 is made from the merger of the old, I think 229 and 221. So basically, supposed to wrap around Bedok North Road, bring them to Bedok MRT, and then link Chai Chi. This one is pretty simple. And then 225 is also pretty self-explanatory as well. It's just like this. And then, like this. It's pretty simple. And then 229, I'll use a different color, is meant to feed New Upper Changi Road into Bedok South Road. So there is like this connection. So it goes like this. Oh, sorry, it goes like this. And then like this. And basically feeds the entire Bedok South. And there is also like a future extension to touch like the new TL stations. So once upon a time, there was 226, which is now Service 60, and 228. So they were meant to connect to Bedok Reservoir. So 226 was like this, simple, and 228 was like this. No changes to the route. It's just like this, and then loop back. So same destination, but different intermediate like calling stops. And then the other side, the UNOS side of Service 60 was 385. And the one that merged with 63 is 382. 382 used Ubi Road 3, I think. So to put it simply, it was just like this, go up, like this, like this, like this, and then it just looped back. Toa Payoh 231 is meant to serve Lorong 1. In the past, it went here, but right now it just loops like this. 232 is meant to serve, okay, it winds around a bit. When it's going out, it's meant to serve Lorong 2 towards like the east side of Toa Payoh, like Lorong 7 Toa Payoh. It like merged with 237 because back then 232 had G and W, and yeah, it was basically it merged with 237 to form 232. The G and W merged with 237 to form 232. And 235, okay, the old 235 was like this. It was much more simple. Now the current 235, again, it still serves Lorong 5, just that it got a few enhancements to loop around Caldecott. And then 238 is simple, it serves Lorong 8 Toa Payoh and Brado Road. So yeah, Boon Lay and Lakeside, 240 and 246, they are meant to connect Lakeside to different places. So 240 is like this, and then it just loops down there. 246 serves the industrial estate like this. A few differences, and that's pretty much it. Now for 241, 241 is a relatively like new service. Okay, because 242 in the past was different, but the 241 that you know of from today is just like that, and then it just loops here. 242, it is like this and like this. In the past, it used to go through like this as well, but 241 is introduced in order to connect to Pioneer MRT. So 242 got shortened to just like this. And then there is 243, which is basically like just this circular route. And 243's special function is to connect to stuff like 179 up Pioneer Road North. So it's kind of a convenience thing as well. Not only that, at here you can connect to stuff like 193, and over here you can connect to 185, 99, and 502. So 243, like, to be more specific, like this particular area, like this throw sector, this winding sector, it actually serves a purpose. It's to link you to these three services, this one, as well as this bus service. So yeah, that's about it for Boon Lay. Ang Mo Kio 261 serves Industrial Drive 1, 262 serves Ang Mo Kio Avenue 2, and links up the entire Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1, and is the only bus service to link up the entire stretch. I mean, there's 71, but 71 doesn't go here, like over here. And then 269 is meant for like Ang Mo Kio Avenue 9. Okay, there are no stops, but it is just named like 269 for a reason. It's just like this, and then like this. Historically, it went Ang Mo Kio Avenue 6, but this is its current route. So 269 has a function to connect to buses at like Yio Chu Kang Road. So it's like feeding from here to like Mayflower area. And then there is also 265, which is just a town link. It's like this, like this, like this, and then it goes around and loops like this. And then 268 is another town link that goes here, serves Mayflower, and then goes all the way here, and then, you know, loops at Industrial Park 2. I forgot what's their road name, but whatever. Bukit Merah was simple and is still simple today. There was 271, there was 272, and then they merged to become the current 272. There is 273, like this. Okay, I kind of overextended, but whatever. There's 273, and the current 57 was 274, and then there was this thingy, which is 275. So it's like full coverage. Clementi, you have the service with the highest fare box recovery rate at 300%, and then there is 282, which fills up all the missing gaps, and then there is that feeder industrial that's called 285. Nothing too special about it. Tampines, you have 290, which is currently 38, that goes like this, like this, like this, and it used bendy buses last time. And then there is 291, which is like this, It's actually really simple. It's just like this. Oops, sorry. It's like this. Yeah, so that's 291. That's 29. This is 29. This is 292. Okay, whatever. I'm not even gonna write down the numbers anymore. So this is 292. This is 291. And then there is 293's East Loop, which is like this part is good, this part is good, this part is good. The old route was better, but now it's like kind of useless. It's just meant to hub spoke to MRT. And then 293's West Loop is just like this, and it's just meant to feed Street 71 onto the whole of Tampines West, like this general area with like the community centers and stuff. And then there is like, oh gosh, there is 298 as well. I almost forgot. I hate this old map, but okay, here's 298. Like this, like this, like this, like this. And it serves the new flats, and yeah, that is 298. And then there is an X now, and then there is also 296 to IKEA. Chua Chu Kang and UT. So 300, it used to be green plate and white plate, and last time it used to serve Avenue 5, but right now it is just a mere remnant. Again, the route is just a mere remnant, and then there is 301 that goes like this, and it's meant to serve Kiat Hong Close. That's 301. And then 302 is meant to connect stuff to UT. And 307 basically just takes the remaining areas, like over here. Like, it's quite simple. And then the south loop, it cuts through here, and okay, historically it used to go like Take Y lane, like both sides, and then they amended it to one side, and then it totally skipped it now. And the reason why it skips it is because 307, like let's say from Choa Chu Kang Central, you can actually, and even from Take Y lane, like this area, they want you to be able to touch like 190, 975, and 985. So again, it's the same bus stop transfer thingy, and it's quite convenient if you live near Choa Chu Kang Central. You can just take the bus for a few stops in order to, like, intercept these bus services. Serangoon and Serangoon North doesn't really need a lot of explanation, but basically it's supposed to like link Serangoon Garden Circus all the all the way up top. I overshot, sorry. And then 317's purpose is for the private estate. Now 315 goes here, so 317 takes Boundary Road instead. It's meant to like avoid this area of Next. And it just goes here and then goes one round and goes back basically. I shouldn't have emulated Serangoon Gardens and Circus. Whatever. Okay, I kind of messed up on this one, but you get the idea. There is also an honorable mention for a trunk service. Basically, 116 is designed to call the opposite bus stop of Next and not at Next, because this one, there's like the taxi stand over there and it's prone to jams, so it loops at the other side. Even 53M also calls the other side of Next because of this. So 116 is basically designed to feed whatever is at Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3, like these bus stops, to inside of Serangoon North Avenue 3 and 4. So yeah, that's basically the uniqueness of this bus service. It was like the first ever BSEP bus service, I think. 112 and 113, they are not feeders, but they were mergers of feeders. So 112 is meant to cover the entire of Hougang Avenue 7, then hub spoke to Kovan, and then goes here, and it's the only bus service from Hougang Avenue 2, let's say you know from 25, 55, and 854. It is meant to hub spoke people inside to Ang Mo Kio, no, not Ang Mo Kio, Hougang Avenue 8, Hougang Avenue 4, and it just loops here out of convenience. And then, I mean, not really out of convenience. In the past, the feeder service used to pass by there also. And then 113, it is also a merger of feeder bus services. It goes like this, like this, like this. And then it loops at Hougang Street 11. And then there is 325, which is one of the like surviving feeder services. So from Hougang Central, it goes out and then onto Avenue 2. And the reason why it goes Avenue 2 is exactly the same as 112. It's hub spoking from 25, 55, and 854. Stuff like that. So it goes here. It's meant to connect like every single thing around here. I know it looks weird, but it is meant as a hub spoke from these bus services all the way here. And then there's also another hub spoke point at over here, Yio Chu Kang Road, like this. So 325 is designed in this manner because of hub spoke. If you want to reach Hougang fast, you just alight at these bus stops. And then 324, there's nothing much to say about it except that it is just like that. It's just a doorstep service. And then there is 329 as well, which is like that, like that. It's quite a simple route. It's just like that. It's meant to connect schools to Buangkok and the shopping mall over here. And fun fact, before 101 was a thing, there was a 328, which is like that, I believe. And if I remember correctly, it was just like that, like that, like that. That was the old 328. And then 328 became 101, and it got extended up here. And then the route over here, over this area, like near Yio Chu Kang Primary, never changed. So yeah, that's the reason why 101's route is so strange. It's because it's a remnant from 328. And just a bonus fun fact from the old Hougang South Bus Terminal. Why is it named Kovan Express Terminal? Okay, but there were bus services that went along Defu Avenue 1 and it looped around Hougang Depot. And yeah, that was how the route went. Now Jurong East is also quite good as well, like it just makes sense. 333, okay, it used to be like this, but then nowadays it's amended to around here. It links IMM and is the only bus service to traverse from here to here that is not express. There's express 502, but this is the only like feeder bus service that, like normal bus service that does this. And then because 333 and 98 already does this turn, 334 goes Boon Lay Way instead, and it's quite direct. And 335 takes the remaining sectors, which is here, Science Center, like this, and then like this. Quite simple. So if you noticed, Jurong Town Hall Road, Boon Lay Way, Jurong East Avenue 1, they are all covered like quite well. And this is what I like about the design of the feeder bus services in Jurong East. In the past, there was also a 24, it's not the current 241, it got renumbered to 331, and then it became 143. And over the years, 143 spawned another 143M. So it was basically like it just went down, and like I forgot how it looped, but it was probably just like that. Teban Gardens Road, West Coast Road, Pandan Gardens. I think it was something along those lines, and yeah, it just went back. The old Bukit Panjang. So there was like 344. Alright, so Petir Road, there was a bus terminal over here, and one side was like for trunk services and one side was for feeder services. So everything pretty much used like Gangster Road and Pending Road. So basically, it's quite simple. 344 was like this, and then 345, if I'm not mistaken, was I think it was like this. Segar Road wasn't a thing, so it went like this. Jelapang Road, Saujana Road, and then just looped back. And then there was 343, which became 921, got withdrawn, and nowadays it's 973. So 973, if you remember, it's like that. But the 921 in the past, it just U-turn at Petir Road, because Petir Road in the past, it wasn't like connected to Dairy Farm Road, and that's pretty much it. And there was also a tips 179, which kind of like looped using the same thing as 344. And Bangkit Road, I think it had no buses at that time. Pasir Ris, it was all about coverage. Service 3 used to be 357. So 357 used to be like this, and it looped like this, and then the eastbound was like this, it was like this. So that was 357. And you would notice that every single one of these town links, it is just a filler. So 358 was like that, and then just like that. And then 359 just basically just took the remaining parts like this. It's meant to serve drive 12 and 3, and then the other side it's like this. In the past it went like this, but nowadays it got extended to loop around here. So that's 359, and then there is a 354 that just went like this. It was like really short, and it was just meant for downtown east. But nowadays the 354 got extended all the way here. Bukit Batok changed a lot. So 361, which is 941 now, it used to be like this. it was like unidirectional loop kind of thing. There was also a period of time whereby it didn't go Avenue 1, it just went like this. Whoops. So there was a period of time where it just went like this instead of going this whole round. So yeah, that was 361. And then 365, back then it did not go Street 52, it just went like this. And the loop was a lot simpler. It was just like this. But nowadays it got extended to over here. But in the past, okay, so basically what I said just now was 365. 367, which is 947, it used to loop like this. Yeah, it used to look like this, which was kind of strange, but this was really how it was like back then. And then nowadays 947 is like this. Yeah, and then there was 944 that did this. And in the past 189 was 366. And 189 was quite simple. It was just like this. I think it was something along this. I cannot remember 366 route, but it was something along these lines. And yeah, then later 945 got amended to here and then got amended to loop like this instead. Like this. And then 941 loops like this now. And goes through here like bidirectional. No longer covers Street 11. Sengkang. Now, I don't remember like 100%, but the old 371, I think it was like this. It just paralleled the LRT and then looped here. So that was the old 371. But the 371 nowadays, it just loops at Rivervale Crescent, which is like a downgrade, so yeah. And then 372, it used to be like this. Like this. Up here, and then loop like this. So this is 372 but the old one. And then nowadays the new 372, it's the same, it just changed direction. Like this, go back, and then enter via here. And this is 372 new. And finally 374, which is it does the same like thing as 372, then goes up here and then comes here. That's pretty much it. 39X is just a bonus. They weren't feeder services, but they were from Changi Airport. This one was Changi Airport to like Orchard. It looped at Tomlinson, but then there was a period of time it got extended to like, I think it was like Holland Fringe Car Park or something along those lines. And so yeah, and then there was this one which is like Changi Airport to ECP, Bedok South Avenue 1, and then Bedok, which later got withdrawn because there is already 24. Bishan. There used to be a feeder service called, I don't even know if it was a feeder, but it was 353, and then it became 410. So 410's purpose is to connect the entire estate, even Bishan Street 21, to Marymount, and then Shunfu Road. In the past, it did not, it just went via here, but nowadays it goes here, connects the entire Sin connects Bishan Street 22 to the mosque over here, and then back to Bishan. Yishun actually needs like some form of explanation. So 800 and 812, so for 800, they are meant to like connect the east of Yishun, like specifically this area, to Sembawang Road. And so it basically feeds this area to Sembawang, and it also feeds from Sembawang inside the neighborhood, like Yishun Ring Road, and then it also feeds back to this area as well. Sorry, why did I say 812? I did not mean to say this. Okay, but 812 is meant to it's meant to feed every single one of basically packs along Yishun Ring Road to Khatib MRT. And from here, it has a same transfer stops with every single bus along Yishun Avenue 2. So it's like a convenience thing. And even if you're coming from like 169, you can also transfer at this stop to go up as well. And then the East Loop, it is just to connect Safra Street 61 and Avenue 4. So the one that I was referring to is actually 811. I'm so sorry about this. So 811, it serves the industrial estate, and it serves Yishun Avenue 6, 7, and it does this loop. So it serves Yishun Northeast. It like feeds them to Sembawang Road, and it also feeds Sembawang Road back to these areas as well. It brings you inside the town from Sembawang Road. And then, oh yeah, there's a south loop as well. It's meant to feed Khatib to Yishun Street 81 and the south part of Avenue 4. Then there is 804, which is just meant to serve the eastern side of Yishun Ring Road. It's just a simple route. And then there is also 806, which is meant to fill in the gaps of Yishun Avenue 6 and then back. So that is 806. In the past, it was like quite different. I think it was like Yishun Avenue 11, Yishun Ring Road, and Yishun Avenue 9. It was like a peak hour only service, and thankfully 806 nowadays actually has a use. It's basically just meant to beeline as fast as possible from Yishun all the way to Avenue 6. But nowadays you have another option in 801, and then 801, and then the upcoming 801X as well, and then you have 803 as a frequency booster for 801. I'm not sure if they even had that planned. And then there's also 805, which again is a gap filler, which is very popular amongst people coming from like the ITH, because it's meant to like support 117 in a way. Did I miss out anything? Yes, I missed out something, and that is 807 is basically just a shorter version of 860. Nothing much to say about it. It feeds the entire ring road to Khatib. That's all. As you can see here, it is a mess. It has its purpose, but it is a mess. What am I even saying? Sembawang also deserves an honorable mention because even though it has no feeder services, like at least the trunk services do the job. Like there's 962 that covers the entire the entire vertical sector of Sembawang Drive, and even 980, it does this kind of like throw. and then 167 covers like this, and then there is 882 which does this, and then there is 859 that used to do this but now does this. Yeah, it goes like this up, and then it just like, yeah, and you can see there are no feeder services, but they managed to like cover the entire town, so that's one good thing. And then there is 861, there's also 883 that goes like this, and then there is 117 that there is 117 that goes like this, so everywhere is covered. Not a feeder service as well, but the earliest rendition of 825 was actually quite special. It was from Yishun, and then it used Avenue 2, Avenue 1, Sembawang Road, and then it like went inside Springleaf Estate, goes out to Upper Thomson Road, and then goes Lentor Estate, and then to Yio Chu Kang. Current Bukit Panjang. Alright, so 922 is designed for quick access to Jelapang Road and Segar Road. So that's the reason why it bypasses like Senja Road. And basically it loops like this. Historically, it used to go Sarjana and then go to Segar. Okay, I'll just show it. Like 922's historical route was this, and it operated at like 30 minutes frequency, which was horrible. But 920 like is just meant for Segar. It's just meant for Senja, like this. And then, you know, from all the amenities here, I hate drawing this, whatever, but it links to Saujana. It's basically like to cut across Bukit Panjang like this. I know it's very messy, but then there's also 976, which is basically it's like it has its unique sectors, and those unique sectors are like actually kind of popular. And 976 is meant to feed to Bukit Panjang Road, Block 183, as well as Phoenix LRT. So 976 actually feeds to a lot of stuff, which kind of explains its popularity. And I think some people, they even take it all the way to like Choa Chu Kang. And it's arguably more sustainable than, you know, BP S1, Bus Parallel Service 1. It paralleled the LRT. Not really, but it went expressway, and then I forgot how the route went anyway. Woodlands. 913 connects Admiralty MRT to Woodland Circle, and that's why it needs bendy buses and only bendy buses. 912 East, it cuts across and feeds all these areas to Admiralty. Same concept. And 900, it is meant for Avenue 4, Champions Way, and then Drive 17, it loops back, whatever. And 901 is meant for Avenue 1, and yeah, now there's a 901M that goes here as well. 902 is for Republic Polytechnic. 911 is for bus service. 911 is for, I know it looks stupid, but it's basically to serve this area and this area, and to link them to Republic Polytechnic as well. And then 904 is meant to cut through and then serve these areas, give these areas access to Admiralty and probably the industrials. It feeds you from Admiralty and Woodlands to this industrial sector as well, because Woodlands Avenue 12 has no bus. Woodlands, like the west side of Woodlands, which is Marsiling, 178 cuts through here. 903 covers the remaining sectors and loops at checkpoint and gets people to Republic Polytechnic as well. Like, it's an alternative to like 169. Bus service 911 cuts through street 13. 913 used to loop like this, but now got converted to loop like this because this area is very jam prone. Because this area is very congestion prone. So that is 913's west loop. And then 912 west loop pretty much just takes everything else. And that's it.